Listen, I highly recommend booking an astrology reading with an astrologer who can sit down with you and go over your chart in a way for you to understand your energies that you come into this life with and how they interact with other forms and structures of society, than putting your charts on these internet streets and asking anybody to tell you what they think, because you're going to get all kinds of interpretations that will end up leaving you more confused or more bifurcated from really understanding your chart. Okay. And this is why it's important to understand how somebody reads your chart, because there's so many different ways to construct an astrology chart and then interpret it, right? So I'm a Western tropical whole signs astrologer. That's how I construct the chart, and that's how I read the chart. But I also use traditional rulership of the inner planets to keep the dualistic nature of those inner planets. And then I incorporate the outer planets, which is more modern astrology, as a way for us to understand the colonial project. It's why I read the chart currently through a Western tropical whole signs lens. I want to understand how the concept of the human, which would then be how our energies are in the chart, interacts with structures that are prohibiting us from fully being embodied in our humanity. So I'm basically reading the chart through a Black queer abolitionist lens. And that's why I call my natal readings journey to self readings. How do we journey to the self by understanding the self and how that self may or may not coincide with the structures around us. So if you book a reading with me, that's how I'm going to read your chart. Other astrologers will read it differently. If you are working with somebody who does sidereal, not all sidereal is Vedic, but Vedic uses sidereal calculations. That's going to be a different way in which the chart will be constructed and also interpreted and read. So, again, you want your chart read, y'all, go ahead and make the investment. There's all types of readers, all types of pay scales. Find the one that is right for you by getting clear about what you're trying to search for, and then you can really understand what you're working with. But don't just throw your shit out on these streets and ask anybody what they think, because you're going to get anybody telling you what they think. If you're interested in reading with me, you can use the code SUMMER for $25 off any reading through the end of August. And as always, like, share, and follow for more.